Welcome everybody to the new Nate Lawson studio for my YouTube videos. Now I threw out there in my community tab whether or not anybody would be interested in seeing how I put all this together. This is that video. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of build footage of me building anything, but I will walk you through all the different elements. That little B-roll intro is kind of the way I have everything set up and the way that I set it up for videos. If you saw my video on Tuesday, that was the first actual reaction video that I have done out here in this new space, and I can't be happier about this. It's really worked out great, albeit a bit chilly on some days just because I am in my garage and it is not insulated, therefore it's not heated in winter, and there's no AC in the summer. So I'm really not looking forward to being out here in 106 degrees, because that's the highest my garage got last summer, I believe, was 106 inside, and that's not good for that's not good for electronics, that's not good for human beings. So I am kind of in the research stage of getting the walls insulated. Unfortunately, everything's already sheetrocked, and finished, but there are ways that you can blow insulation into the walls. I'm looking at that. Possibly a split unit on this wall over here that will be a heater AC unit, and then more insulation put in the attic space above the garage. So with all of that aside, let me grab the camera. I am using my iPhone for this because I have my normal video camera set up right in front of me, but let's just walk around. I will show you everything that I've done, and I do have a list that I'm putting together that I'll include down in the description of this video on everything that I purchased. I did keep myself at a budget, and I wanted to get the best I could get and the most I could get for under that certain amount, and I will share that later on, but let's just dive in. I'll show you what we got going on here. Okay, so as soon as you walk through the door here, you are into the garage, and as I spin around here, you'll be able to see that what I'm looking at truly is just my garage. Workbenches, CNC over on that wall. I did get rid of the table saw that used to be right there, so now I just have a couple, my miter saw and vacuum right there, and then obviously the motorcycle stays in the garage as well. So about maybe a half, let's spin this around so I can see what I'm talking about here, but yeah, kind of split down the middle. I have tools and whatnot over on this side, and then on this side we have my studio. So the main thing, the one thing that I did first, if I can talk today, is I used to have a tool wall up here, and I will throw some footage. I do have time lapse of me tearing things down. Hi there, Future Nate here. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I realized going through other footage, I really don't have anything useful to share with you right now about me building any of this. I have time lapse of me painting a wall. I have time lapse of me removing things off of walls, but I really don't have any build footage of any of this. So I sincerely apologize, because I really wanted to show you how I put this together. But maybe in a future video, if you're interested, I could do some sort of build video building something. But for right now, you're just gonna have to live with your imagination on a lot of how I built this. So again, I'm sorry for interrupting, but back to the video. And doing some other stuff, but this used to be a tool wall right here. So I tore everything down, I repainted that wall, and then I ordered these 3 prints. These are actually my artwork, my prints. If you would be interested in knowing more about how I achieved this effect, just let me know in the comments. But that was a lot of fun. doing these. It's actually 4x5 peel apart Polaroid film that I zapped with 10,000 volts of electricity. That's the result. So if you'd like to know more about how I did that, just leave a comment. But this is the first time I've actually ordered my own artwork, large format on canvas prints, and I think they really turned out pretty great. So I have a tri-panels, you know, up as background artwork there. This shelf here is just a normal I think that's a 1x6, so it's actually 3/4 inch by 5.5 inch for you people in the United States. It's unfinished. I just sanded it. I thought about staining it, but I do like the natural wood color, especially against a dark background wall. I had thought about doing a floating shelf, so you didn't see these brackets, but I kind of decided that, you know, easier is better. Didn't want to make a whole lot of work for myself, so I just picked up these at the local hardware store, and I think they look pretty good. They're pretty minimal, so they aren't, you know, these big gaudy things that are gonna stand out. The plants are fake. Amazon special. I thought with all of this here, I needed some greenery, and there's no way I'm keeping live plants alive in a dark, cold garage. So fake plants it is, unfortunately. Sorry, honey. She doesn't like fake plants at all. I don't blame her, but these will always be green. Don't have to worry about it. This nifty little thing here I got for Christmas from my parents. There was a local artist back in my hometown that made that. Unfortunately, there's no markings on it, like a maker's mark or anything like that, but I am a huge Star Wars fan, so that was a pretty cool gift. And the way I have it lit up in the back is just an LED. It's kind of a clip light, so you can just attach it to the bill of your cap, to your shirt collar, whatever. But I just have it double-sided sticky to the back of this to kind of light it up from the backside. This is an old Kodak, believe it or not, this is called a Kodak pocket camera. They must have had some huge pockets back in the day, because this is bigger than any of my pockets. But vintage camera. I have thrown some film in here before, but it's not, you know, there's some light leaks and whatnot, but it's a cool little shelf piece, if you will. This is a massive D&D 20-sided die that I made. It's just actually MDF that I cut all the sides, glued it all together, painted it, and then included these little runes on each side. So that's pretty cool. This little movie clacker board, or clapper, I made years and years ago, back in Wyoming. Pretty nifty. You can't see it in my videos because I'm sitting right in front of it, which I also will hide the power cable. I don't normally have this connected, but I did have a power strip down here because I wanted to charge the two LED lamps that are on the side here, but normally that power cord's not there. But again, you can't see it because I am blocking all of this in my video. This is a Yashica Mat 124G medium format camera. I love this thing. I have used that quite a bit, and it's pretty special. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like. If I turn it this way, so the image is backwards. So the ladder is facing to the left, right? And you look down in here and it's facing to the right. So that makes it a little weird when you're trying to frame stuff. You move it and you're like, oh, wrong way, move it back. But that's a pretty cool camera. I really like the 124G. And then just took this out of my office. This is an IKEA lamp, no big deal. I got 3 Canon lenses sitting here just for props. as well. And then I have some foam mat on the floor that I had around the garage for when I was doing woodworking and that. And then I have a whiteboard up there in case I want to write down any notes or inspiration or anything. And then these panels here, let me see if I can put the camera down and show you. Well, let's just walk around the back first. So basically, it's just a 2x4 frame. All this wood I had on hand already, so I didn't have to purchase any of the wood. I do have a fire extinguisher in here just for safety, but then it's got little legs there to keep it from tipping over. And then the fabric is actually felt. I thought about doing sound panel type stuff with this, but that would have been just too expensive. And the cheapest route for me to go was felt. And I like it. It's a neutral gray, which helps during color correction and that sort of thing. And then this actually has Velcro on the back, and it's just able to stick to it, which is kind of nice. It also hides the hot water heater, which when that thing kicks on can be a little noisy. So I was a little worried about getting that background noise in my videos, but I don't think it should be a problem. I can edit a lot of the sound, you know, out. But these came in handy. It kind of frames in the area, so it's kind of like a little living room scene, I guess, or office scene. These lamps I just got off of Amazon. They are USB powered, LED, multicolored. They go to music. I can change the color. Still trying to figure out a color combination. I do like the orange and blue combo, but I might play with those a little bit more. And then just a tripod that's not here for posing reasons. I just forgot to move it. All right, so for the camera and lighting setup, first off, what I did was created a track system. Now you can jump on Google and Amazon and look up overhead track system for studios, and they are ridiculously expensive for what it is. I mean, it's like $1,500, $2,000. So that was out of the question. So what I've done is I bought one large piece, 10-foot length of Unistrut. I just bumped my camera. Unistrut's made for construction purposes, but then it's on little rollers. So these are 3/4 inch conduit pipes. Those are also 10 foot. I had some smaller ones, but it would only give me about this much space between here and here, and I wanted to make sure that I could go across the whole way. So I did end up getting 10-foot long ones. And then attached to those, so these I can actually slide back and forth. Maybe like so. Now I just messed up my camera angle, but that's all right. Ooh, they're a little rough to try and move unless I get up on a little step ladder, but I am able to push those around, which is pretty nice. As well as this little thing here, I can slide it back and forth. So if I need a different camera angle, I can just move that where I want. Now the extension coming off is just off of Amazon. It's just a normal, kind of like a tripod, but you can mount it to the wall or mount it to the ceiling. I have it mounted to that wood so that I can slide it back and forth. And then on the bottom, I have a double-ended like ball, whatever you want to call this thing. But I can adjust the angle any way I need. And connected to that is my Canon M50. That is, I have the, what is that? The cage mounted on it. I can't think of the name right now. Small rig. There it is. It's written right there. Small rig cage attached to it. So I just have it screwed in right here. I have the Rode wireless Go 2 mic right here connected in. And then on this side, I have the external Andesini 4K monitor so that I can turn this on. And then you don't turn it on like that, Nate. You turn it on like that. and then turn the monitor on. And then I can frame myself in the shot so that I'm not guessing, right? So then there's the image. Obviously I have to move it back to where it was, but then I can get in there, I can make sure everything's in focus, which is nice. So if you saw me in my last video, this is the first time I've used this setup. So you may have seen me looking back toward the camera. I was just checking because at one time this went blurry, so I was afraid that the camera got out of focus. But that's nice to know before I do an entire video and then watch it back and everything's out of focus. I can see it right here on this screen. That's the camera setup. And then right here I have the Amaran 100X light. It is mounted upside down because it's hanging from another smaller pole there, attached the same way. I have the power cord up and wrapped, and then it gets plugged into the ceiling. Now it is zip tied where it is, which isn't good. If I wanted to move this backwards some, I would have to unclip those, otherwise I would run out of cord space. But this is a beautiful light. I have that, as you can see, kind of how close that is to the desk. So that is my main key light. And then on this side I just have a smaller LED light. It's almost dead. I'll just go ahead and shut this off. But what's nice is I can adjust the power of it as well as the color temperature, so I have it matched to the key light, and then I can adjust to see how bright. But this basically just fills in that shadow on the right side of my face. So when I'm standing here or sitting here, that's the key light right there. And then this just fills in a little bit this, because without this side of my face is pretty dark, which for some things that might be what you're looking for, but I want more uniform light, I guess. And then I do have this light shut off, but I keep that light on, and it's about the same color temperature, so I'm not really screwing up my lighting too much. And then I do have one light on back here that's pointed toward the artwork on the wall. That is pretty much all. And then just as for the desk, I'm just using my old workbench that I just threw a sheet over, or a black cloth. And then this is laptop on a laptop stand, wireless keyboard and mouse. These are actually for work. I just have them out here to show you. And so I do all my videos like that. And then I did have this on. It's just a little aperture light. It's dead right now. I need to charge it again. But if I need a little bit more light, I can just set it up out of the camera shot and light me up a little bit more as well. And then this is the charging case for my Rode microphones. So I think that covers it. Let me turn this back around so you can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Yeah, so, and if you're wondering why I'm looking at my watch, I have it connected to my camera, or to my phone, so it's using the camera connect, so I can make sure that I am in the shot. But you know what, and I'm facing the dark way, so let's just rotate you over here, right? And then I can look, I can get situated here. No, I don't want to talk to you. So that's pretty much it. Again, footage throughout of me tearing stuff down. I don't unfortunately have anything of me building anything, but it's really pretty straightforward. It's just a simple frame for these wall pieces, or these sections here. One board for a shelf on shelf brackets, not rocket science. A gallon of paint to paint the wall. And then the biggest thing that I built was the track system up top. And again, I'll throw a price list of everything that I got for that. But this is really all that you need. You know, I kept it under $1,000, which for some might be quite a bit. And, you know, it's nothing to sneeze at. It is. And I can tell you that the most expensive things come out of that were the electronics. So the lights, actually some of the track system isn't cheap, but you know, for the most part, that includes paint, that includes the prints on the wall, that includes the fabric, that includes all the lights, the plants, you know, the camera arms, these two lights, you know. So the price list will be down in the description. If you want to try and attempt to do this on your own, you don't have to do as much as I did. Simple one light would work. I mean, I was doing it in my office, you know, for the longest time, and it worked. I just made sure that I was lit properly. But I found that using my Canon M50, I didn't want the ISO too high. Otherwise, you introduce a lot of grain. And I just couldn't get the image bright enough, really. And it just seemed like it was just out of focus a lot of the time. So hopefully this setup will help with that. And then, you know, I have this boom right above me that I was going to put my Yeti Blue microphone on. But in order for it to work, I'd have to have it wired to the computer, put in the camera to capture the audio through the camera, but it's got to be powered through the computer through. I was like, you know what? I have the wireless go-to mics. I'm just going to use them. It clips right to my camera. I can watch the clipping of the audio before I start the video to make sure I'm good. So I don't know what I'll do with this little contraption up here. I even thought about connecting it to the camera for a mic, or, you know, what I might do is, since I have the light up here, I might try and connect it up there, put this little light on the end of it as kind of a hair light, just to separate me a little bit more from the background. I have tried putting this on the shelf behind me, and it's just not bright enough. I've tried putting this one behind me, and it just doesn't separate me enough. So I think I need it a bit closer. So if it was just at a shot right above my head, just to light up kind of the back of my head to give me a little bit more separation, that would be good. So I am really trying to make these more professional looking for you guys. This is something that I want to pursue more regularly, hopefully. I haven't been posting too much. Well, you know, we had the holidays and my birthday was coming up and things at work. So hopefully now that I'm out here in the garage, I'm separated from the house, so I'm not getting the noise of the house. And can you hear that? The water heater's on, so I'll have to check during playback to see how much noise actually gets picked up. But I was hoping that this panel would kind of separate it and hide it, but I'll have to check that out. But yeah, so now that I'm out here, I like to do more videos. I am thinking about maybe pushing this to twice a week. I know Tuesdays were my normal posting time, and I might try and shoot for a Thursday release date as well. And it might not be another reaction video. I might do my reaction videos on Tuesday. Thursday might be more videos like this, vlogging style, me taking the drone out, doing other things, hiking with my wife, anything like that. So I might try and separate it that way, so you can know that if you're into more of the reaction stuff, then Tuesday's your day. And if you're more into the person-to-person vlogging style, what's going on, that might, you know, be Thursday. So you can watch for that Thursday. And who knows, you know, right now it's just too bloody cold for me to be riding the bike to work in the morning at 34 degrees or something in the morning. But, you know, there will always be moto vlogs in the future as well. So I hope this kind of gave you an idea of what my setup is like. And if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And then don't forget to check that last video that I just did about what would happen if we all just stopped working. Very interesting there. I want to thank you so much for joining me and for putting up with all my shenanigans sometimes. I know I'm a very opinionated person, but I'm not gonna apologize for it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.